What's going on, everyone? And happy Monday. We are here with a brand new trailer reaction for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which will be launching phase 5 of the MCU. What's going on, everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is kind of a last minute thing. I saw the trailer like when I was driving home earlier today at like a stop sign. So I haven't properly seen the trailer yet. So we're going to react to it here in a bit and also just give you my thoughts on what I'm hoping for to see in this film. And phase 5, baby, we are here. Kang Dynasty, Kang Gang, hashtag Kang Gang in the building. But hey, before we get into this actual trailer reaction, do your boy a favor if you're watching this live. Number one, again, this is very random, so I don't expect a lot of people to be here, but check out the replay if you get a chance. But nonetheless, for every one of you all that are watching live, I appreciate you. Hit that thumbs up button. It means a lot to me. It also spreads out this video to more Marvel Ant-Man fans out there, as well as share this video, man. If you guys have a Instagram or Twitter or whatnot, share that, hit the share button, share it on your Twitter account, and tag me in it. I would appreciate it. But more importantly, let me know your thoughts, theories, predictions, and all that good stuff in the live chat. So with that being said, let me cue up the trailer for you all. Let me share the screen for a hot second. All right, let's go here and let's see what we got here, ladies and gentlemen. So let me make sure everything's good. Let me say what's up to everyone in the chat. First and foremost, my man Tony was in the building before we were even in the building, saying what's up. How we doing, Tony? Zia Wow Majors got two. Yeah, he's a major deal. All pun intended. He's doing his damn thing. What's going on? Tony says the trailer was fire. I'm happy. Yeah, we talked about this over the weekend. Shout out to Ant-Man, man. The man got 3 films before Superman did. But hey, for my Superman fans out there, y'all saw the announcement earlier. Things are turning around for DC. But yeah, shout out to Ant-Man, man. What's going on, Tyrian? How we doing, my man? Excited to check out this trailer. Zia, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Top 11 comic book movies of all time. Very interesting. So is it number 11? Number 1? I'm very curious. It is nowhere near my top of the list, but I'm glad you enjoy it, Tony. And we'll get into my thoughts about Ant-Man at the end of this trailer. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's check it out. Let's give it a look at this new trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
I used to ask myself a lot of questions. Scott, you're at ex-con. How are you an Avenger? That doesn't make sense. But everywhere I go, people tell me the same thing.
That fame and fortune now,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
People still need help, Dad.
That's why we made this.
It's like a satellite for deep space, but quanta.
Wait a minute. You're sending a signal?
He says
down to the quantum realm.
This machine, but I wonder.
Turn it off. Now!
Well, that is beautiful. That is beautiful.
When are you gonna come down? When are you going to land? I should have stayed on the phone. I should have listened to my own mind.
It's a secret universe beneath ours. What are you so afraid of? There's something I never told you.
This place. It isn't what you think.
Oh, I find it inside my future lies beyond the other big round.
I can get you home. And give you more time. If you help me. So, what's it gonna be? Ant-Man.
All right. February, that's 11 days after my birthday. So that's what's up here. Let me mute this and we're going to replay this while we kind of analyze it here. So first and foremost, I love how the trailer kind of kicks off and showing this, post in game and him being a celebrity. And I love the callback to the first Ant-Man. Hold on, did I say employee of the century? Hold on, let me rewind that a bit here. Employee of the century. Hey, shout out to Ant-Man, man. Finally getting that employee of the century logo there. That's awesome. I love that callback to the first one there. Hold on, who's on his little bag? Was that another Spider-Man? Oh no, that was Ant-Man. So they recognize game. Little man got the Ant-Man book bag. I love how like meta Marvel is at this point, the MCU, that they can acknowledge that the heroes are being marketed, almost kind of like the boys territory. I'm wondering like who markets the Avengers, who is their PR, right? I would love to explore that more. Hope of them going to a premiere of what is that in the back? I'm trying to see what the red carpet says. Let me zoom in here on my computer. I can't really make out what that says, but I'm wondering what this event is being held by. Is it someone, Baxter Foundation? I don't know. A little Fantastic Four, little nods, but I'm very curious on where they're headed. And this is the moment he says Spider-Man. You got to love the little nod there. And we got the whole gang together. But interesting enough, in this scene here, Cassie, shout out to Catherine Newton, who's replacing the actress from Endgame. She mentions in this moment here that someone helped her. Like she said, we built this. And no one in this room seemed to have help. Scott seems surprised. Obviously, Michael Douglas, Hank Pym, he's surprised. Hope's surprised. Janet's surprised. So who exactly helped Cassie build this device? I'm very curious about that. Let me know in the comments, guys. Who do you think she can be teaming up with? Because I remember a while back, and there's so many rumors with all these Marvel projects, but a while back it was rumored that Kate Bishop might be appearing in this film. And I don't know if her and Kate Bishop have like this relationship that's maybe was built prior to this. They knew each other as kids. I'm not sure, but I'm very curious on who exactly helped her build this quantum tracker, as she said. So very, very curious on that as they get sucked into the quantum realm, which I'm going to say this off the bat. I'm not the biggest Ant-Man 2 fan. I thought the first one was really fun because it lived up to what they said they were marketing as, which is a heist film. And the second one was more of a family fun film. And I get that that's what Ant-Man kind of occupies, that section or that sector of the Marvel universe, which is kind of the more family oriented film. Oh, look at that, man. Look at those visuals are crazy. But going back to, that's just Ant-Man. I know that he scratches that itch. And the second one isn't my favorite. I've literally seen that film like twice. I'm not the biggest fan of the second Ant-Man, but what I'm excited for with this one, and this just speaks to what I'm really getting at here, is Peyton Reed, man. They're really allowing him to flex his muscles. For me personally, Peyton Reed, it seems like they have been tentative to let him kind of show his sensibility as a director. He's a pretty solid director, man. And no shade to his first two Ant-Mans, but after, I think Kevin Feige, after he saw him directing The Mandalorian season 1 episode 10, I think he directed. I think it was called The Passenger, if I'm not mistaken. But then the one I definitely remember is The Rescue, which we all remember the season finale of The Mandalorian, which Luke Skywalker came into the bit, and everyone was like, wait, who directed this? And they found out it was Peyton Reed. So I think Peyton Reed definitely gets to flex his muscle in this one, especially this intergalactic, or not intergalactic, but the quantum realm, and get to play into sci-fi. So I'm really excited to see Peyton Reed really dive into the not supernatural, but the science fiction quantum realm element of this world. So that really gets me excited. And look at these visuals, this is like creative person's dream, man. Just look at all this stuff going on, man. I love this. And the fact that it's Ant-Man exploring all this is wild, man. He's come a long way. Little man is getting his big break in this film. But yeah, these visuals are crazy. So the question is, who are these mofos? Who is this? I said celestial. That's definitely not a celestial because obviously the size is much different. But who are these beings, man? Who's the guy in the cloak? Who are all the people with the glowing eyes? Very curious to learn what civilization has been occupying the quantum realm. And I'm not to put the theory hat on, but behind them kind of looks a little bit like the Fantastic Four, like the negative zone type of situation, which I've been saying this, and this isn't a far stretch, but I've been saying it for years. I'm like, yo, this would be the perfect opportunity to not only introduce, as we know, Kang's in this film, which we'll talk about here in a second, but this would be the perfect film to introduce Fantastic Four. Being that, as I talked about a couple minutes ago, this is like Marvel's kind of big family-oriented franchise within the MCU. And for my comic book fans out there, we know that Fantastic Four is Marvel's first family. So I think it would, and not to have them like heavily involved in the story, but at least nods and little Easter eggs and maybe one member from Fantastic Four who's been trapped in the quantum realm. I think that would be a great way to introduce that side of the MCU and really introduce them in this film, knowing that, again, this is the first film of Phase 5. So this is a very big project. Let me read some of you guys' comments before we get further down the road and breaking it down. Bill Murray has, yeah, that's what I said about earlier. I said when they show him in the trailer, I'm like, oh, I'm very curious on how much they're going to market Bill Murray in this film, because as David's talking about, there are some allegations. I didn't know about the Keke Palmer, but I did hear about his the allegations about him being on set for the most recent, what movie was it? I want to say Jonah Hill. Was it a Jonah Hill? It was some project they had to shut it down because these things went on. So yeah, I'm very curious on how much he's going to be in the film and how much he's going to be marketing this movie moving forward. I love how they getting wired through the quantum realm. Yeah, the quantum realm is going to be the coolest part about this. Jacob, yes, so much CGI in the yeah, I mean, of course they're gonna have to use CGI, right, Jacob, because it's not humanly possible to to show these things, but the visual effects look clean. So agree. First one, what gave me Shazam 5. Yeah, the first one to me was a really solid film. Again, it lived up to the premise, which was a heist, and it kept those vibes throughout, and it had the family elements like you mentioned there. That second one, man, was like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids type of knockoff that I just wasn't vibing with. And Ghost and Lawrence Fishburne as I can't remember his character's name, Giant Man or whatever. That film to me is just one of the weakest films in the MCU, if you ask me. Ant-Man 3 and the Wasp, yeah. What's going on? What's up? What's going on, Justin? How we doing, my man? I wasn't ready. Yeah, man. They're here. They came with a bang. Shock is going. Yeah, his stock is definitely going up. Shout out to Jonathan Majors, who we'll definitely get into. But again, shout out to all 26 of you all watching live. I know this was kind of a random live, so I didn't expect a ton of people to show up. But the people that are here, I appreciate you. Just thumbs up if you can, share if you can, and more importantly, leave your thoughts and theories in the comments. And shout out to everyone watching the replay gang. Shout out to Kang gang and all that good stuff. All right, so let's get back into the trailer here. So again, who are these people? What's the civilization here? As we see, is that looks like Hope. It kind of looks like a Disney film, right? Like those visuals a little bit. Like it reminds me of that new Disney film that's coming out with Jake Gyllenhaal voicing the characters. But it's going to be cool to see all the different realms. Man, I can't get over these visuals, y'all. This is clean CGI, very clean. Got them on creatures. And this is the part of the trailer where Hope or Janet says that I didn't tell you guys everything. So what exactly did you not tell us, Janet, or tell your family? So number one, we can tell that that's Kang, if you guys can see. That's the classic green and purple cloak in the purple glove. So he's putting in this device. So what exactly did she not tell them, y'all? So my thoughts on this film, and this just speaks to the greater Phase 5 and moving forward. And I know people aren't the biggest Phase 4 fans, and I know that has its ups and downs, but I can't remember who said it, but there was an article not too long ago talking about the significance of two mysterious artifacts that were introduced in Phase 4. One being the 10 rings in Shang-Chi, and the other one being the bangles from Miss Marvel. So I'm pretty sure that we're going to learn more about those artifacts in this film. Because number one, and hold on, let me just go a little bit further to kind of give you a little bit of my reasons why. I mean, first off, those little circular things to me, number one, looks like some of those things, inscriptions within the bangles of Miss Marvel, and also the rings kind of reminded me a lot of the rings from 10 Rings. And knowing a little bit, not a big expert on Shang-Chi and his lore and also Miss Marvel, but knowing a little bit that I do know about those rings, they come from like outer space, and this comes from like this ancient alien civilization, and they, you know, gave humans these advanced technology. So I wouldn't be surprised if those aliens that I was referring to in this trailer, who are these, you know, let me go back a little bit, who are these aliens that's been occupying the quantum realm. I wouldn't be surprised if they were the originators of the Ten Rings or of Miss Marvel's bangles. Who's to say that these aren't Kree, right? These might be a Kree civilization people. They might have been split from their people and trapped and entrapped in the quantum realm. So, and another reason why I think that we're going to learn more about those artifacts, because there is an artifact that we're going to be, apparently there's a MacGuffin that Kang wants Scott to look for, which goes back to Ant-Man 1, a heist film. But going back to, again, my whole Bangle and Ten Rings thing, it's all starting to line up. As far as Kang wants, we know he's the conqueror of time, and shout out to Jonathan Majors, who we'll talk about a little bit more, but we know he's the conqueror of time, and he wants these artifacts to conquer time. So again, Ten Rings, Bangle, whatever the other artifact is that he wants Ant-Man to obtain, I think will be important moving forward. And also, speaking of moving forward, going back to Shang-Chi, who directed that, Dustin Critton, who's going to be directing Kang Dynasty, the same guy. So I think that there's a lot of connections there to kind of play within those secret artifacts moving forward. So this film is going to be huge, man, literally huge for so many reasons. Kang being one of them, but also these information of these artifacts that we're going to be getting moving forward. So you heard it here first. Kang, Ten Rings, Bangles, going to be explained. At least I hope it gets explained more here. But speaking of explaining, man, who are these Kang's like soldiers? Is this like is this his army? Because I'm just looking at the glow, and kind of looks like they have like that helmet that he wears, and that kind of aesthetic to what he wears on his helmet. So I wonder if this is his army he's been building, and more importantly, if this is his army, how did he get in the quantum realm, right? Because I'm going back to Loki. You know, if you all remember with Jonathan Majors, He Who Remained, he said that he trapped, you know, all these variants, his variants, including Kang, he trapped them in what was the name of that creature in Loki? I can't remember the name of the creature, but if y'all saw Loki, which is the best Marvel show to date, he used that creature to trap his variants. So is this going to somehow tie into Loki, that this is where he was? Like, I don't know. That's because we obviously know in Loki, when they pruned them, that Void was the name of it. So very curious on if this is pre-Loki or if this is after Loki. Like, once he was released, he was able to go to the quantum realm to get these artifacts. Thank you, Abundance. Alive. Yeah, thank you. I wonder if this is after Loki, and now he's going back to his conquering, and like, I need this artifact, I need the 10 rings, I need the bangle, I need whatever the other artifact is here. So very, very curious. I don't know if this is his army or if this is, again, whoever these the civilization that's living in the quantum realm, if this is their armies. But it looks like it might be Kang's. And speaking of Kang, y'all, there he is. The classic comic book look. He has his little device that I assume might be the MacGuffin in this film. Man, he looks good. I'm trying to get a better shot of it, but it's so fast. But this might be the best shot we get so far. Man, shout out to Jonathan Majors. Shout out to the Kang gang. It's going to be his year next year, man. I'm super excited for him, man. The man's killing it. And again, going back to that Star Wars conversation I was having with you all with Peyton Reed, man, he is. I wouldn't be surprised if you, and there's been what was that announcement for Star Wars fans? They announced that there's another Star Wars film in the works. I wouldn't be surprised if Peyton Reed gets his own Star Wars series or a movie, man, because he really is flexing his sci-fi. And look at that, more rings, man. There's so many rings and circular artifacts and objects in this trailer, man. It just makes me think that we're definitely going to get more of the 10 rings understanding, or at least meet the aliens that created the 10 rings. And who's to say Shang-Chi doesn't make an appearance to this, or Wong, so many things. Again, this is a huge phase 5, this launching phase 5 and the whole multiverse saga. So this film is going to be big, man. I expect a lot of big things to happen. Look at these aliens. That alien looks kind of weird. It's like a goat mixed with like a ant's body with tons of fingers and hands. Goes back to that Star Wars thing. This is a Star Wars ripped out of Star Wars, going to a cantina and all these different species and aliens. And there he is, Bill Murray, which, like I said earlier, very surprised that they made an emphasis to show him in the trailer with all the controversy going on with him right now. So I'm very curious on what they're going to do moving forward with him, if they're going to continue to show him in the marketing, but we'll see. Look at this shot here, man. Ant-Man getting mega size, surrounded by, again, if this is Kang's army or if this is whoever, but look at that destruction, man. This I'm telling y'all, this film, and again, not being the biggest Ant-Man fan, I can't believe how stoked I am for this film, more or less for Kang, but just very curious to see, again, exploring the quantum realm, exploring all these different artifacts. Look, there's an alien again, man. Who are these aliens? Where do they come from? And this shot here is crazy, bro. Because if you look carefully enough, there are a ton of Ant-Mans. There's the bigger Ant-Man, and obviously there's Scott without his helmet. And if you look on the right here, there are other Ant-Man within this scene, which makes me think that, you know, going back to Kang and his capabilities, he's able to manipulate time. He's able to show time in a different manner. So I wonder if he's showing Scott, like, and I remember from the trailer that they played at Comic-Con, the description came out. There's a line where he says to Scott, "I've killed you before." So I wonder if he's showing Scott all those other times that he's killed him with all the other Ant-Man. Or we know Kang's a variant. Maybe these are other Ant-Man that Kang has captured or kidnapped, and, you know, our Scott, our Ant-Man, is the only one that can get it done. Or maybe he's gathered all these Ant-Man who are great heist, thieves. He's who the best Ant-Man wins. I don't know. I'm very curious on how this plays out, but this is a very, very cool shot. All right, we got more of Cassie and her daddy running for the last. There he is, y'all. Goodness gracious, man. Come on. Look at that, man. And it's so interesting. Again, I'm not the biggest Kang connoisseur as far as a comic book goes, but very similar to like Mysterio. Like, this is hard to translate from a comic book to a big screen. I'm going to pull up a picture of like the comic book version of Kang, but they did a really bang up job. Matter of fact, let me pull up Kang in the comics. Like, this is a hard thing to pull off, y'all. And I think they did a great job at it so far, right? We haven't seen the full final product, but here, let me share the screen here just to show you guys the Kang, how he looks in the comic books, and how they were able to translate that to the big screen. Like, that's not an easy feat, man. Look at that. My man, the costume is solid. It's not one of my favorites, but I mean, you look at that and then what they were able to accomplish with translating that to the screen, man. Shout out to the art department. Shout out to the costume and makeup, man. This is pretty awesome. That's a pretty good replica, if you ask me. So shout out to Marvel, man, making money moves. But Kang gang, bro. And we got and it looks like their suits have been updated. At least Hope, her suit looks a little bit more like kind of just a different. The yellows look a little bit more vibrant than her previous costume. Although the previous costume, I think it was purple. So I wonder if Cassie has her costume. And what, by the way, how did they upgrade their costumes in Quantum Realm? There he is. There he is. And he says, Ant-Man. Yeah, man. Let me go back to him here, man. Get that shot of him. He got his scars on his eyes. Oh, man. Kang. If you're watching this live, just do me a favor. Put hashtag Kang Gang, y'all. This is huge, man, for Jonathan Majors. And this is a huge character that hasn't really been felt in Phase 4, besides, obviously, in Loki, with He Who Remains. And a lot of us have been a little bit disappointed that the ramifications from that show haven't bled over to the MCU quite yet. But I think, obviously, this film is going to show you how terrible of a decision Sophie, her doing that, of killing He Who Remains and unlocking this multiversal conqueror by the name of Kang is going to be huge. So, which speaking of Loki, again, I talked about Eliath. I wonder if we're going to see any ties from any of those characters. Is Loki going to be in this film potentially? Because he was technically the first person to interact with a Kang variant. So I'm very curious on that. TVA agents, are they going to be involved at all? Mobius, is he going to be involved? So very curious to see if any of those characters are going to play within this realm. And man, I'm excited, man. Yeah, shout out to y'all, Kang Gang in the building, man. We got to get that on a t-shirt. Kang Gang in the building. Jonathan gives me very calm, but yeah, I think we're gonna, and that's why I think Jonathan Majors chose to do this role, because he seems to me, from his last like 5 years, 7 years, from Last Black Man in San Francisco, Lovecraft Country. He's done some smaller independent projects and just been very selective of what he's choosing to put out there as far as him as an actor. I don't think he would do this role just for the sake of the money. Of course, you got to pay your bills, but I think that there's something in this character that really spoke to him, as far as giving him a lot of flexibility, a lot of complexity in the character, layers with the character, and plus he gets to play variants of this character, which, as if I was an actor, that would sound pretty exciting, that you get to play different versions of yourself. So I think that's really, really awesome. But he might be a calm, cool collective so far, but when he is wanting to conquer, that's when we're gonna really see Kang and the Kang Gang. I'm gonna be there for it. But question is, man, will he take out Ant-Man and his family, take out him and his crew? He says in his trailer a couple of times, I want to give you hope. I want to give you more time, which, that is a superpower in itself, is time. So, and we know the quantum realm and how they deal with time is so much different than our reality. We learned that from Ant-Man 2, which, like I said earlier, I'm not the biggest fan of that film. But more particularly, we learned about what the quantum realm does with time travel from Endgame. So I'm wondering, going back to him wanting the help of Scott, if he wants Scott to get something to obtain time, to get whatever he needs out of the realm to control time. So that's another thing that I'm very curious about, what this big MacGuffin can be, as far as this control and manipulating time moving forward. So I'm here for it, man. Just to recap, because again, I don't want to be in here too long. Shout out to all 28 of you all watching live. But again, this is my recap. Things that I expect to see in this film. Like I mentioned up top, that alien civilization, who is actually occupying the quantum realm? What kind of species? What kind of humans? What type of families, potentially Fantastic Four, have been occupying the quantum realm? As I mentioned earlier, what's this event that they're attending? Is this a Baxter Foundation event? Which ties into my next thing that I talked about. I think this would be, I don't want to say it's a safe bet, but I'm pretty confident. Like, I would put 95% on the line that we're going to get at least one character from the Fantastic Four, if not all four of them, in this movie. Because again, my thought process behind that, this is Marvel's, the MCU's like really kind of family of the MCU. Like, there's actually a connective tissue with generations of Hope and her dad and her mom, Scott and his daughter, and all that stuff. So like, a family is the foundation of this franchise. And from a comic book perspective, Marvel's first family is Fantastic Four. So I think it's just, the synergy is there to introduce the Fantastic Four in this film, not even including the connections that the Fantastic Four has to Kang, with Reed Richards being like a descendant cousin of Jonathan Majors' character Kang. So there's so many things to tie into the Fantastic Four. And again, not saying that they're going to be like the main characters of the movie, but I think that they're going to have some presence within this film. And it could be even a post-credit scene. Like, they've been trapped in, and I know this is not my theory. A lot of people have been saying this. The reason we haven't gotten the Fantastic Four is because they've been trapped in the quantum realm. So, there's that theory out there too. So again, who's been occupying the quantum realm? What alien civilization has been there? Will we get Fantastic Four? As well as my biggest thing that I think we're going to learn about this film as well as those artifacts that we got within phase 4. Again, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Knowing that my little bit of knowledge from his comic book run, those 10 rings come from like an alien civilization, an ancient alien civilization that gifted those rings to, the human race. So again, going back to this trailer, I mean, we saw quite a few different aliens and a couple different groups of aliens. So I wouldn't be surprised if that alien civilization has been occupying the quantum realm. And then going back to my other side of these artifacts, don't be surprised if we learn more about the the bangles from Miss Marvel, because again, both of those things are new MacGuffins. They're new artifacts within the MCU, but we don't know their origins. And again, if I'm Kang the Conqueror, hell yeah, I want to get me some 10 rings because they seem to be very powerful. And then knowing Miss Marvel, not only does it give her superhuman strength and, stretchabilities and all the different stuff, but also from what we learned from Miss Marvel, it gives you the opportunity to swap places, intergalactic places, going from one place to the next and swapping in, bodies with the other, with Captain Marvel from that show. So that is a pretty important artifact as well. So definitely I anticipate to learn more about the 10 rings and learn more about those bangles within this film, because I wouldn't be surprised if the Kree or whatever alien civilization that created the 10 rings has been in the quantum realm. So this is huge, man. And again, all this stuff, you might be thinking like, man, Elliot, you're expecting a lot from this film. You're damn right I am, because as Kevin Feige said at Comic-Con, this is the launch of phase 5. And the biggest complaint so far as Marvel fans, me being one of them, where's the consistency? Where's the story? Where's the thread of these characters, right? We met He Who Remains in Low-Key, but there hasn't been any ramifications from that. Spider-Man has Doctor Strange open up the multiverse, but there really hasn't been any ramifications from that. But what if it is revealed that once Loki release He Who Remains, all these things that we've been getting so far, all these crazy timelines, all these different things going on, it's all due to that one moment. So I'm hoping that this film starts to tie all the stuff that we've been getting so far into this film. So, hey, your boy got high hopes, man. But let me get over here to the comments. And then, like I said, we're going to wrap this up here in a little bit. And again, shout out to every single one of you all coming through, showing your boy some love and breaking down this trailer with me. So, and again, I just got a couple steals here for you guys. This film's looking beautiful, man. And this man here, Kang gang is coming. And man, it's going to be trouble, bro. It's going to be trouble. That's, again, going back to my Fantastic Four comments. He gonna need help. And Fantastic Four, someone's gonna have to help this man. And number one, I don't think they're gonna defeat Kang. I think Kang's gonna end up, I don't know if this is gonna go as far as killing Ant-Man, but they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose whatever battle they're gonna try to fight against him. They're gonna lose because obviously he's gonna move forward in the MCU. So, or at least another variant of Kang is gonna move forward. Another, Conqueror is gonna move forward. So trouble coming to the Ant-Man universe. But let me go ahead and go in these comments. I've been babbling on all my crazy tinfoil hat theories. Let me see what you guys are talking about, and then we're gonna wrap this live up. Visuals looking clean. Yeah, man, the visuals look clean, Tony. Like I said, I'm glad they're letting Peyton Reed flex his directing sensibilities, because again, if you all saw what he did with the Star Wars, and particularly the Mandalorian, the man has some great visual flair to his direction. So I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do with this film. My man Tyrion, Jonathan Major is going to be around. Yeah. Protect Jonathan Majors. Oh, yes, please, guys, let's protect Jonathan Majors, for he continue to give us his great bright future ahead of him. So definitely. She has the stature outfit. She has the stature. Oh, you talking about Cassie? Yeah, I'm very curious again who made that for, if that was pre going into the quantum realm or after that. Like, what is she going to be stature before they go into the quantum realm, or are they going to make their way out and they have to go back in? So yeah, I'm very excited to get more about Cassie Lang and see the Marvel continue to build out the Young Avengers. We got Cassie Lang, we got Kate Bishop, we got the twins with Wicked and Speed. We got Isaiah Bradley from Iron Patriot. Who else do we have in phase the phases with the Young Avengers. Is anyone else that I'm missing? I think that's pretty much it so far. I'm just going through the catalog in my head. WandaVision, Loki. I mean, Falcon and Winter Soldier. You can use Danny Ramirez's character as the new Falcon. He can be a part of that crew. Of course, Yelena can be the leader of the Young Avengers. I mean, there's so many characters they've introduced so far as it. But nonetheless, what I'm getting at is they're building the Young Avengers right in front of us. Bro, Ant-Man has a whole trilogy before. Don't even get me started on that, bro. But hey, I don't know if you saw my post and saw Henry Cavill's post. Superman is back, baby. We're getting that his film's back on the bunch. Oh, you're right. She does have the stature outfit. Yep. Sean, very excited for this movie. Same here. Kang Gang all day. And yeah, I love it, guys. We gotta get this on the t-shirt. Kang Gang all day. Hank and Janet aren't making it out of this one. Yeah, I can see this being their last film, if I'm being honest with you. At least Hank Pym. I think it's time to hang it up, Mr. Michael Douglas. So yeah, Kang Gang. We talked about that earlier. Is Kang going to introduce? Yeah, so that's what I said earlier about this. Like, I think the connective tissues from the comics are there, and the writing's on the wall for me for Fantastic Four to appear in this film. So I definitely think that either we're going to get them in the present timeline, or there's going to be like this whole flashback of Kang talking about things that he's tried to conquer and maybe coming across the Fantastic Four or Reed Richards. So like I said earlier, I think I said 95%. Let's bump it up to 98%. I think there's a 98% chance that the Fantastic Four has some type of presence in this film. Again, if it's one character, 4 characters, post-credit scene, mid-credit scene, I think the Fantastic Four is pretty much a lock to appear. Could be wrong, but we'll see. He was great. I didn't see White Boy Rick, but I heard it was good. Jonathan Majors was in that film. Yeah. Quantumania, where Kang is conquerors. Yeah, he's conquering, man, especially with time. I've always been a fan of Jonathan Majors ever since I saw him in Captain. I haven't seen that one, but yeah. But I remember that film. My first time seeing Jonathan Majors was probably Last Black Man in San Francisco. And once I saw him, I'm like, oh, this is someone I'm going to keep an eye out for. So yeah, I would love to see Loki going around playing Bruce role. Yeah. So apparently, Justin, that's what they, from what I heard from the trailer that they played at Comic-Con for season 2 of Loki, that's what he's doing in his series, which I cannot wait for Loki season 2. Oh, that's my favorite show on Disney Plus. But apparently from the description of that trailer, that's what he's doing. He's going around like warning people, Kang's here. So again, and knowing the MCU map, this is coming out in February, and Loki is slated to come out in the summer. So I think there's going to be a lot of, connectivity within that film and also his show. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. Yeah. Is he the villain though? That trailer, which was a great trailer, by the way, he had some points, Tony. So I don't know if he's going to be, it's going to be, that black and white, that he's a straight up villain. I think what's going to make his character, again, going back to what I talked about Jonathan Majors, he's someone that picks his projects very carefully. I don't think he just wants to be a villain. As Kang, we're going to learn more about him. I don't think Kang's going to be just a straight up Thanos villain, which Thanos was complex as well. So I think, he's more than just a villain, if you ask me. Oh, the MLK. Yeah, probably. I'm calling out. That was going to be the cube. Oh, I don't even know. Yeah, you hit me with the super comic book stuff. The Cosmic Cube. Interesting. Oh, guys, saying thanks. Yeah, that was great. That was great to see that. Yeah, and also too, not only great call out, Jacob, but also knowing that, if you remember, was it a deleted scene in Ant-Man 1? It might have been a deleted scene where, first off, how can I totally forget this? It disappoints me that Luis is not in this film, y'all. Michael Pena has not been announced to be in this film. He's not in IMDb. He's not listed as an actor. I don't think Luis is in this movie, which sucks because he's my favorite character in the Ant-Man franchise. But going back to where I brought up Luis, again, I think it was a deleted scene on the Ant-Man Blu-ray. He's sitting on the bench talking to one of his friends, and someone mentioned Spider-Man before Spider-Man was ever in. Was he in the MCU? I think, yeah, Ant-Man 1 was in 2015. So, yeah, Spider-Man, they didn't even announce Spider-Man yet. He wasn't in Civil War. I don't think the deal was inked yet, but they had put that seed in there. So it's a great callback to Ant-Man being one of the first films to allude to Spider-Man being in the universe. Because and they didn't say Spider-Man in that deleted scene. It was like she was talking to Luis and being like, there's a I can't remember exactly what she said, but it's like there's a boy that's a spider, which alluded to Spider-Man. So yeah, they don't make black people like Jonathan Majors anymore. Bro looks like straight up from a civil rights. Yeah, I saw that joke online of women talking about he's that civil rights handsome or something. But yeah, now he's from everything, all the stuff I've seen from him publicly that he puts out there, he seems to be a pretty level-headed dude. So yeah, shout out to him. Love it. The Baskin Robbins, respect this guy's name. Been interesting place. Fantastic for very yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love the Baskin Robbins callback. Hey Elliot, first time on your channel. Normally I see you on Just My Opinion. Shout out to Famous Jay and shout out to my man B from Brandon from Just My Opinion Review. So thank you for coming over here and checking me out. Kang Gang. I think Kamala's Bengals are the negative zone. Okay, Kang. Interesting in the okay, this is what I love, man. And again, I think a lot of this stuff is going to be brought to the forefront. So shout out to you with a great comment there. Is one going to show up at this point, Justin? Why the hell not? Why the hell not? He's been recruiting some people. He's been looking into the 10 rings. He just got Emil Blonsky and She-Hulk. So yeah, Kang or Wong, he's on to something, man. He's making his recruitment. So I wouldn't be surprised. Yep. Kang Gang. It's just going to be so great to be alive, right? Yeah, man. Within an hour, we got this trailer. Within an hour, we got Henry Cavill announcing him coming back to play Superman. So it's a great time to be alive for all my comic book superhero action movie fans. So yeah, man. Oh, I'm excited to see Patriot. Yeah, me too. Very excited to get more of the Young Avengers for sure. All right. I love the recasting of Catherine Newton as Cassie Lang. I love that she's a team member of that. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to get more from her, and I like Catherine a lot, man. She's really impressed me. The first time I saw her was like in one of the it was a horror film. What's that franchise? Paranormal Activity 3 or maybe 4. She was great in that. And then I saw her in a bunch of other kind of YA films. She was in that great horror film a couple years ago with Vince Vaughn when they swapped bodies. She was great in that. And she was in this really good rom-com on Amazon that didn't get enough praise. It was a really good movie that I can't think of right now. But yeah, she's a great up-and-coming actress. And I'm really excited to see her and obviously get more of her in the role. That's what I'm saying, man. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there has been no announcements of. They already said that T.I. and David Mitch, I can't pronounce his last name because he was doing Dune, and T.I. was, when they were shooting that, he was going through a lot of controversy. So they said that they weren't returning, but they have yet to say that Luis is returning. So that scares me, man, because that's my favorite character in the entire Ant-Man franchise. So that sucks, but. I guess if you're gonna, get a new actor in there, not replacing him, but Jonathan Majors, I guess is a swap, a 1-for-1. I think Luis is definitely gonna be in Ant-Man. Surprise cameo, Tony. I hope so, my friend. I hope so. That's how big of a character he is. That they want to have a cameo for him because he's become that big. I think it'd be interesting to parallel if this version of Kang we're trying to save Ramona make. Oh, is that homegirl from Loki? Yeah. That would be great. Because I know in the comics they have a romance. So yeah. Will we see mutants? Abundance asks. Maybe, my friend. Who knows? Replays Bill Murray. I mean, it's too late now, right? It's already been shot, and then the can coming out in 2 months, 3 months. What? When did you didn't hear about that, Justin? Yeah, man. Check out my where do you follow me at, Justin? If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram or my YouTube channel, I reposted his video. Yeah, he announced it this morning that he's officially back as Superman. Yeah, he said it on his Instagram, man. So it's a great time. Paranormal 4. I knew she was in one of them. Freaky, thank you. And Detective Pikachu. Yeah, she was in that. Yeah, good call, Tony. Yeah, we're gonna see I think we're gonna get a lot of variant versions of all these characters. Pokemon. Yep, she's great, man. I'm excited for her. Right on. Yeah, but yeah, more Luis. Let him be Kang, a variant of Kang. But I think that's it, y'all. I'm gonna wrap this thing up here. Who's the big guy holding what looks to be an Infinity Stone weapon in the eye? What? In the eye? I don't know what scene you're talking about. Who's the big guy? Do you have a timestamp, Jacob? Before I head out, give me a timestamp, and I'll pull up the trailer again. I'm not sure who's the big guy holding what looks to be an Infinity Stone. I'm not sure. Just Jacob, let me know if you're still here. Put a timestamp, and I'll pull it up right quick. Maybe they are taking a step away from it. I doubt it, Tim. I think that's layered within the foundation of these. This franchise in particular is comedy, and listen, comedy can work in any genre. It's just how you use it, right? So I'm okay with the comedy as long as it's effective. But yeah. Yeah, he said it, Andrew, that he gets to play different versions of the character, which is exciting. So yeah, I'm here for it. What's going on, Brandon? How we doing, my man? Shout out to Brandon from Just My Opinion Reviews, guys. Check him out for all his great content. I think he has a trailer reaction on his channel now too, so definitely check it out. You can wait until someone announce. Oh yeah, man. He's got so much stuff going on. The Celestial, is that what y'all talking about, Jacob? Yeah, I don't know who that is. Like I said, when I did the trailer reaction, I don't know who these alien civilization or creatures or whatever you want to call them, these beings are. It did kind of look like a celestial to me, but it's obviously, well, not obviously, but it's like way too small to be a celestial. We know that they're literally the size of planets. So, but we also know that when you're in a quantum realm, you go like micro size. So it might be a celestial. Who knows? But I doubt it. But damn, now I think about it. Celestials, again, going back to my phase 4, that I think we're going to get the explanation of where the rings come from, the 10 rings. We'll understand where the bangles come from, and who's to say that we might not get some presence of the Celestials. Interesting. I love it. This is why you guys are awesome. Louise Kang, that would be a pretty deadly combination, right, Andrew? Kind of towards, yeah, we got to pull it up here. Yeah, I'm not sure, guys, who that or what that is, but we got less than 3 months to find out. It's not a dramatic abundance. I got a series that I recommend for you, my man. I've seen quite my fair share of Paul Rudd films, and he has it in him, bro. Trust me. Trust me. I'm gonna recommend a show for you. You don't have to watch it, but if you have time, this will kind of show you his range, and more particularly a dramatic range. There's 2 shows in the last couple of years that he has been a part of that shows you that range that he has. Let me pull it up here just to give you a little recommendation to show you that Ant-Man can flex his dramatic muscle, my man. Let me pull it up here. His filmography. First off, he's been doing this damn thing for a while. He's been in a ton of movies and shows, and there's a lot of movies he's been in that has showed, some of that. But there's 2 shows that I'm going to give you here. Abundance. Where is it at? Where was it? It was on Netflix. Yep, here it is. If you get a chance, Abundance is a TV series on Netflix. It was very, very it went under the radar, but I thought it was a great series. It's called Living with Yourself, and I don't want to give too much away, but essentially, there's clones involved. There's a particular, it's not too far in the distant future, but they have found a way to clone yourself. And let's just say the other version of him is more, the reason why he does this is that you see, I don't want to give too much away. It's a really great series, and it shows you a lot of his acting sensibilities, and particularly his dramatic side. So I definitely recommend that. And then another series I have to recommend for you. And then again, that was on Amazon or Netflix. Another show that shows you his acting sensibilities as a dramatic actor, and particularly a douchebag and an a-hole and a scumbag, is a series called The Shrink Next Door on Apple TV Plus, where he plays this not corrupt, but he takes advantage of he's a therapist, and he takes advantage of one of his clients who's played by Will Ferrell, which another character who a lot of people just think that he's always like a comedic guy. Will Ferrell has some acting chops too, but he takes advantage of him because he's a rich guy, and he manipulates him for almost like a decade, bro. So listen, Ant-Man, Paul Rudd, he can act. He got a couple things under his belt that shows you that he can act. But definitely check out those 2 if you get a chance, especially the one on Netflix. That was a really good show. But yeah. Oh man, I just got Alex Ross new graphic novel. Oh, out. Nice. Yeah, I think that's Celestial. I don't know. We'll see. It's my personal favorite video game of all time. Yeah, it's up there. Yeah, it's up there for sure. All right, guys. I think that is it. Yeah, definitely check out those series, guys. Just if you want to see more Paul Rudd's acting, a more dramatic side. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, okay, I got you. It's gonna be yeah. Listen. I love you, Buttons. I'm gonna give you a little pushback, bro. He shows some of that dramatic stuff in the first Ant-Man. Again, I'm not the biggest Ant-Man 2 fan, but think about Endgame, man. When he saw his daughter for the first time, seeing her age up 5 years, he showed you it was obviously a 2-minute scene, but he showed you he can hit that dramatic beat. But I understand what you're saying. The majority of him in the MCU has been comedic relief and been more of the funny. Even in Civil War, he was funny. So I get what you're saying, but I think this film is gonna be more dramatic than comedic. So at least I hope so. I've heard it. Yeah, it's good. Paul Rudd, Will Ferrell, Catherine Hahn. It's a couple other great actors. So yeah, it's on Apple TV Plus. It's a really good show. It's like 6 episodes, like 30 minutes a piece. So yeah. Listen, this has been dope, man. This was a kind of a random live. I didn't expect to be here for almost an hour, but this is why we do it, man, because you all are awesome. You all are great. And shout out to every single one of you all that joined in live. Before you all leave, hit that thumbs up, y'all. I would appreciate it. Hit that share button, and shout out to the replay gang. Shout out to the Kang gang. But shout out to the replay gang, those that are watching the replay. If you can do the same for me, I would appreciate it. Like, share, leave your thoughts on this trailer in the comments, theories on this new film. What do you hope to see? Fantastic Four. Learning more about the Ten Rings, learning more about the Bengals, learning more about Celestials, maybe. And will the Ant-Man family survive this film, or will Kang ultimately conquer them all? Let me know your thoughts on all that in the comment section. Again, guys, this film is looking to be huge. It is launching phase 5 as far as the first film out of the gate. February 17th, 2023, 11 days after my birthday. So this is going to be a nice little birthday treat for myself and hopefully for all of us across the world coming next year. So with all that being said, you all are awesome. I appreciate you, and we'll catch you on the next video. Peace out, everyone.